Welcome everyone. My name is Robert and I'm one of the technical trainers with Decisions. Today we're going to be taking a quick look at the catch exception step. The catch exception step is an easy way to build error handling into your flows. So let's start by taking a look at how it works. I have a flow here. I know that when I run this, I'm going to get an exception. Why? Because we're trying to divide by 0. So, on every step in Decisions, you can add an individual outcome path for an exception. So you can say, on exception, I want you to perform some other type of process. So we can show a pop-up or something along those lines and say, there's an exception. We can make the message something along the lines of the exception message, right? So now when I run this process, it will show me that pop-up. However, adding individual exception paths for every step in your flow can clutter things up really quickly. So, a great and useful tool is to, rather than adding individual exception paths, you can add a catch exception step. Now this catch exception is going to start whenever your flow stops due to an exception. So now when I run this process, notice how we went to divide. We did not get to this show pop-up, but we ran through this catch exception path. That process will go for every step in your flow. So any step in your flow that catches an exception that doesn't have an individualized path off of it will go down the catch exception path. On that path, you can log that data using a log step, and you can create custom inputs using this merge text editor. So as we go through, I can run this again. And again, any step in my flow that has an exception will now be caught and logged. The catch exception step can also be utilized to catch multiple exceptions if they occur simultaneously. I have this process set up. I have 3 divide steps, all dividing 0 by 0, so that we'll error out, all happening at the same time after this branch step. Notice when I run this flow, it catches all 3 exceptions because they all happened simultaneously. So again, I could add individualized outcome paths for each of these steps. If certain things happen, certain people can be notified, or we can log certain information. But generally speaking, add a catch exception step to your flow will build in these exception paths for all of your steps by default. So now, let's take a look at what happens if I have a catch exception path and an outcome for exception path on an individual step. We'll just make this a quick default message to see if we can get this to line up nice. So let's take a look at what happens. It still showed that pop-up and logged these 2. So this had its own unique path because I added that option, but these 2 were caught by our broader catch exception step. So hopefully you can see how this is an efficient way to add error handling into your flows, reduce downtime, and be able to catch any issues as they happen. Thank you.